welcome today. Today we'll be speaking about traffic rerouting functionality that we released recently. Now, many of you probably have experience with the traffic rerouting in other software products, other navigations, but there is this complexity which we had to make a little different in our product, and you will later on see what were all the changes we had to do. So as first, I would like to start by saying that many of you have been using the traffic information inside the navigation, even if you don't have the traffic data ordered. And that is because the navigation has been providing the historical traffic data, which were available for offline usage and were part of the standard product. Now, this presentation is about how are we combining the historical traffic data and the actual ones. So let's explain the historical traffic data first to you who haven't received many information about it. In our map, every road has information about average driving speed for each 5 minutes time slot of day, and this is different across the whole week. So even if you're offline, you can estimate what is the average driving time based on what the situation is there. And you can predict also if you have a route which is 2 days long, you can have the prediction of what will be the traffic tomorrow. Now, if you combine it with the real-time traffic data, which is information which is collected currently, is valid for the next few minutes, and is refreshed frequently. These data are real based on what is measured in the field. It reflects the current situation, so it might be more accurate than the historical traffic data which predicted, but if something unexpected happened, then it might be the traffic delay might be different than predicted. Now, the one thing which makes these data possible to combine with the historical traffic data is that every every actual traffic information contains information about what is the current driving speed. Like here, there are some traffic jams with average speed of 5 kilometers per hour. Now, thanks to this, we can intelligently combine the predicted traffic with the current traffic. So this is probably the biggest complexity of this, or the biggest point of this logic, which combines these data. We are taking the traffic events which are current to be relevant for the next few minutes of your trip that you take. And if there are some places which you reach in 2 hours, the traffic jam which is currently on that place might not even exist when you arrive there. So thanks to the fact that both the historical traffic data and the actual traffic data have information about the current driving speed, we can combine these two, and with a different weight, we can take the speed, current speed, either from the historical data or from the actual. And it goes like the first 15 minutes, we take the actual traffic data as the ground truth. And as you are extending between the 15 minutes and 120 minutes, which is 2 hours, we are reducing the effect of the current traffic data, and we are increasing the effect of the historical traffic data. This way, you can simply see that the more further the road is from the current situation, the more the historical traffic data is included. Of course, the traffic jams can be growing or can be diminishing. So in this case, there is also estimation that if a traffic jam is growing, we are expecting to last longer into the future. If there are some roads which are right next to you and there is no current traffic information, in that case, we take the historical data anyway, because if there is no traffic, we take for what is statistically recorded. Now, how the navigation evaluates these information, because while you are driving, you're moving with some speed, and there is new traffic updates coming from the server. So each time the navigation gets new traffic data, and this period could be different. I will explain that later. Each time that the new traffic data are received, the navigation tries to find a new route to the destination with using this data. You don't see this because it happens in the background, and it might be that the situation isn't changed, and in that case you don't notice anything. Only if the new traffic that has been received is significantly different, you can see so the navigation takes only the part of the route which is next to the driver, which can be interesting if some traffic has changed, and recalculates only this first part of the route and returns the difference in the ETA. That means that we still have the old route, which was calculated originally, and we have a new route that might be different or might be the same and has different ETA. Now, this difference in the ETA is evaluated, but we also have to consider what is the vehicle of our customer. Normally, you know, the consumer navigation, these take any way of rerouting traffic jam and suggest a faster route to the driver. But when we are speaking that a very large portion of our customers is truck drivers, we cannot send the truck drivers simply out of the traffic jam and let them drive on small roads. So we are differentiating the traffic rerouting based on what the vehicle settings are. And for delivery vans, we are suggesting, I would say, like more, not to say aggressive rerouting, but rerouting that tries to find a faster way, and even on smaller roads. While for the trucks, we search only the large roads anyway. And also the difference between the original route and the newly found route has to be bigger for the truck in order to suggest a different route. So let's say for the next 100 kilometers, it's necessary to find a route which is 10 minutes faster on the higher roads in order to change the routing for a truck driver. While for a delivery van, it's enough if we find a route which is 1 minute faster and can be on lower class roads. Now, how this information is communicated to the driver. Here on the screen, you can see the new teaser, which is displayed to the driver. In case that a faster route is found, there will be also a voice notification on this. And what I have mentioned before, there are thresholds which are defined when this teaser should appear. That means that if no faster route is found, the driver is not prompted any question. And as we know that all of our customers might have different use cases, we exposed these settings into the ini file so that you can change it based on what you need. So there is standardly defined for vans and easy trucks is 60 seconds faster route, and for heavy trucks it's 10 minutes faster route. You can adjust these settings. Now, many of our customers have request that the driver cannot operate the navigation screen while driving, and this is a understandable safety feature. There is possibility to define whether the truck driver can be even suggested any rerouting. You might want to choose that you don't want to use any rerouting, you want to use strictly the route which was given, or you might want to use the rerouting, but not to uh, not to let a driver decide, but you may define that if the route found is faster than a threshold, the route is automatically switched and the user doesn't have to click anything on the screen. So all these settings are available for you to modify, and you can define the behavior that you would like to use. Now,
Wait, Victor, let me
yes.
interrupt you for a while. We'll give you a break, and because this was an interesting thing you just was talking about, I have a short survey for the attendees, and we would like to know if you allow the driver to change the route, or you prefer to set it for him. Please, you can vote. Okay, a few more seconds. I leave it on. I'm closing the votation now. So you can have a look on the results. So yes, most of you would allow the driver to change, and the second most required option is not to distract driver and let the navigation to decide for its own. Victor, you can proceed. Thank you.
Okay. Now, coming back to the traffic data, I would like to remind that we have something like the mobile data limiter. So if you are providing the traffic data to your drivers, don't forget to configure this. Default configuration of the mobile data limiter is that the user can spend 200 megabytes per month for all the communication that the navigation is taking. We estimate the driver is driving average 200 hours per month. So please configure these two parameters, and based on this, the navigation will be estimating based on how many traffic data are transmitted, the refresh frequency of the traffic data in order not to exceed it. So uh, it might have that the traffic refresh period will change to from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, not to exceed the data, but still the driver is getting some data. So this is just a reminder for you that there is also this option to control how much data you spend on the traffic monthly for your drivers. And that is all from the presentation we have prepared for you today. So I'm giving back to Roman.
Thank you, Victor. That was quick. Thank you very much. And we have actually some questions. I will first read the one from Thomas that we have in the chat. Can one modify the rerouting setting within the setting of the navigation app?
Uh, yes, the rerouting settings that were displayed on the slide, this can be changed in the ini file. They cannot be changed in the user interface of the application, of course. It's only for the configuration file.
We have another question from Luca. Would be also the driver could see the difference between old and new route on the map before taking new route?
Well, we have taken the non-distracting approach for the driver. So currently the navigation is displaying only the teaser and is not displaying the alternative route. We consider that the driver is probably busy driving and shouldn't be spending much time by looking on the navigation if he's not stopped.
Thank you. I will read the question from the email. The question was very simple from Frank. Is it a paid feature?
Well, the traffic data is a paid feature, so you can buy this additionally on top of the navigation. Of course, the rerouting is then a part of the product, is part of the traffic feature.
Okay. So let's see. Uh, the question from Tony, which Sygic versions would support this feature?
This is supported since version 13.8.2 on both Windows, Android, and Apple.
Okay, another question from Lukasz. Hello, it is possible to change the settings via API?
No, we expect that these settings are defined across the fleet, and we do not expect that these settings can be changed or are required to be changed in the runtime of the app. So it is possible to change the file, use mobile device management to distribute the settings to all the devices, and the next time the application is started is using these settings. We don't expect that these could be required to be changed on the go.
Okay, another question from the email. The question is if the rerouted, if the new route will be included into ETA calculation and distance to destination.
If the route is changed, then the new route is taken and all the ETA statistics and everything is made for the new route. So the ETA to each waypoint will be updated if the route is changed.
Okay, and looks like this is the last question we have from email. if this feature will be working also on low on the devices with lower performance, the weaker devices.
Uh, it's well, if the navigation runs on, if the 3D navigation runs on such device, this functionality is possible to have there. It will be maybe visible when the navigation is searching for a new route. So maybe for 1 or 2 seconds the driver will note that the navigation is not updating, but then he will have the suggested new route. So it will run also on these devices, but with some lagging.
All right. A clever question from Mr. Klopper. Is it possible to switch back to the old route?
Uh, Oh, well, no, we haven't thought about this function. Uh, so we hope that the driver will make the decision that he needs, and it will not be necessary to return it back, but we can put it into our idea pool and think over way how to provide the possibility to return to the original route if the new one appears to be wrong.
Okay, another question from Lukasz about more about our roadmap. Are you thinking about some form of voice control for this feature and all the other control of the navigation?
Yes, we would like to provide the voice control in the navigation, and not only for this feature, but also for other features. But we will see, maybe for this one feature, we will implement voice control first. And of course, the availability will depend on the available voice recognition on the hardware device. So depending on what operating system and version is used, the language will be also will depend what languages are supported for this.
Okay, and I see now that I forgot actually one question from Thomas. Can you please repeat the underlying driving hours slash 200 megabytes? Thanks.
Okay, so it's the mobile data limiter. The navigation is tracking how much data it has consumed with every request. And the default setting for traffic refresh are every 5 minutes. So uh, each time we download new traffic data, we calculate how much data have been downloaded. Let's say that we have downloaded 300 kilobytes now. In next 5 minutes, we download some 350 kilobytes based on how much traffic is around you. If you are in a densely populated area, you download much more traffic data than somebody who is in rural areas. And uh, we know that you will be probably driving 200 hours every month, because that's 20 working days, some 10 hours. And we know that there is some 200 megabytes that you want to spend. So you can estimate that you don't want to spend more than 1 megabyte per hour. And now, if traffic data that we download is 300 kilobytes, and we can spend only 1 megabyte per hour, then we know that we have to refresh the traffic data only every 20 minutes. Now, somebody else who's when he downloaded the traffic data, the traffic has been only 20 kilobytes of data. uh, this person can download the traffic 50 times per hour. Of course, the refresh rate is only 5 minutes, so he will download it only 20 times per hour. And if it's 20 kilobytes, it will be just 400 kilobytes. So this is the way how the traffic limiter is working. So it's changing the traffic refresh frequency to the driver based on how much traffic is around him in his area.
All right. Thank you, Victor. We don't have any more questions. I'll check also the email. No, that's it. So I believe we can close this webinar. I thank you very much for attending, and you can expect the recording soon. And please, if you want to follow up, you are interested in trying this feature, you can reply on the email. We will be sending you the recording in, and we will address your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.